Washington. You can't believe anything they say. They sell you the globalistic notion. You got to integrate everything today. I tell you, the people don't seem aware at all. Too many other things to do. And everything is falling down for the deaf, dumb, and blind. They're doing away with borders. It's a new world. It's a new day. There's a new world order coming to your town. You better get ready. They burned the Constitution. It doesn't mean anything today. We live in a mental institution. 'Cause everything's crazy, crazy. Nobody wants to share at all. And people worship money. And everything is breaking down. And everybody's shaking down. They're doing away with borders. It's a new world. It's a new day. There is a new world order coming to your town. You better get ready. Hey, look out. Constitution. It doesn't mean anything today. We live in a mental institution. 'Cause everything's crazy, crazy, crazy. Nobody wants to share at all. And people worship money, honey. Everything is breaking down. And everybody's taken down. They're doing away with borders. It's a new world. It's a new day. There is a new world order coming to your town. You better get ready. You better get ready. It's a new day. It's a new way. It's a new day, new day. It's a new way. I tell you, get ready. It's a new day. It's a new way.
Hey there, boys and girls. I'm Wild Bill, and I just rode into town. Look out, all you bad guys out there. I'm fixing to blow the whistle on all your evil plans. Yes, it is Saturday night, and you are not going to believe what I've got right here for you on Revolution Radio. That's right.
What evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows.
Who, me? I don't know what I'm talking about. Right? Huh? Welcome to the Samsel Report. We're coming to you live from my personal isolation tank right here in St. Louis, Missouri. Oh, yes, indeed. The number to call in with your thoughts and comments, 314-720-6835. You got that? 314-720-6835. So feel free to call that number. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? It's time to get this here show on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, our government is a cesspool of corruption. Our industrial might is a thing of the past, and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights are being trashed by a treasonous, out-of-control government intent on enslaving the American people. Oh, yes, I know, and you know, and we all know. It sounds like something out of the Twilight Zone, but you know what? We live in the Twilight Zone. Oh, yes, we do. Oh, look out.
You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance. You are bombarded by the conditioning illusion projected forth by corporate and government-controlled mass media. A world of mind-controlled automatons, unable to think or speak out or stand up for themselves. You're entering a world where everything is just the opposite of what you think it is. You are living in the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone.
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. We live in the Twilight Zone, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Oh, yes. The media is a weapon being used to control and dumb down the American people, even as they are raped financially, their rights and liberties trampled upon, and America destroyed by design. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, okay? Would you do that? All right. And now it's time for an important message. Oh, yes. Especially for you listeners out there. Because this here program on Revolution Radio is listener-supported. And that means you, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this network and you like this program, then please send us money. Okay? Would you do that? Now, we don't want a whole lot of money. No, all we want is whatever you can spare. That's right. That's right. So, please help fund this broadcasting network. And let me tell you something. You need this network. Revolution Radio is the voice of truth and freedom that you won't find anywhere else. How do you like them apples? So help support informative, entertaining, fabulously original, innovative, cutting edge, enlightening, mind-expanding, and awe-inspiring programs just like this one. Okay? Yes, it is it's the Samsel Report, and it's Wild Bill's headline roundup, and it's right here on Revolution Radio. So send us money, okay? Would you do that? Okay. All right. You know, it's the Samsel Report, and it is expanding. It's growing in popularity. Oh, yes. We're reaching more and more people on more and more networks. Yes, besides my home base right here on Revolution Radio, the Samsel Report can also be heard on Awake Radio US and Awake Radio UK. Oh, man, how do you like them apples? The Samsel Report is now a proud part of the Liberty Beacon. That's right, at libertybeacon.com, the Liberty Beacon, the Liberty Beacon.com, okay? And we can be heard on Liberty Beacon Radio. And there is more to come, so look out, New World Order. That's right, because Wild Bill is coming to get ya. Now, tonight, I have a special surprise for you all. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, a great big surprise. We're going to have an abbreviated headline roundup. Okay? It's going to be an abbreviated headline roundup. It'll be shortened, concise, brief, condensed, abridged, succinct, compacted, and concentrated. That's right. And you know what else? I'm Charlie Danger episode on hold, okay, until next week. All right? How do you like them apples? Huh? What do you think? What was that, sweetheart? What did you say there, darling? What was that? Oh, that's right. We're going to hold it back for next week. Okay? Okay, can we do that? Well, because I have to make room in the program. I got to make room in the program. Understand? You know what I'm talking about? Huh? Okay, well, that wasn't very nice, you know. You know, that's not very nice. I'm sorry. No. That's not nice. That's not nice. I'll tell you what. Now, hold on. Hold on a minute. Now, hold on. Now, don't be... There she goes. She ran away. Now, how am I supposed to get back to the ranch? You know, she can be so demanding at times. You know, she just loves Charlie Danger. Anyway, I was checking out some of the alternative news groups. some of the patriot truth groups, you know what I'm talking about, on Facebook. And I had no idea that there were so many of them. And I thought it's good to see so many people promoting alternative news. See? It's like they're using the enemy's website against them, right? And so I thought it would be a good idea to focus on a few of them, okay? All right, so tonight I have not one, not two, but three special guests. Oh, that's right. And later on in the show, we're gonna talk to these here folks, and we're gonna hear what they're doing, and how the alternative news movement is growing by leaps and bounds. Okay, and I think you all will find it extremely interesting. So later on, we're going to meet these folks, and we're going to have a discussion. And you out there in Radio Land are welcome to call in and join us, okay? All right? Okay. But I tell you what, though. I tell you what now. Do you know what time it is? Do you know what time it is, boys and girls? Well, let me tell you. It is time for Wild Bill's Headline Roundup. Oh, yes. That's right. It's Wild Bill's Headline Roundup. All the news that you won't get from the mainstream media. It's time to saddle up with old Wild Bill, and we're going to head on out there, collect us up a whole bunch of them there headlines. Okay? So you ready to go? You ready to ride? You ready to go? Oh, let's get going then. Let's hit the trail. Hi-ho, sweetheart. Away. That's right. Okay, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Our first headline. New York investment banker found dead on sidewalk outside East Side apartment building. Oh, yes. Another one bites the dust. That's right. That's right. A 28-year-old Manhattan investment banker has died after an apparent suicide. That's what the police say. Okay? Kenneth Belando, who worked at Levi Capital, was found dead on the sidewalk outside his East Side building on March 12th after allegedly jumping from the 6th-story roof. Belando, a former investment bank analyst at J.P. Morgan, is the son of John Belando, chief financial officer at Condé Nast. Okay. His brother John is a top chief investment officer with J.P. Morgan. Okay? I mean, there's a whole nest of them there, right? Am I right? Well, who knows? Who knows? Maybe they'll all take a flying leap one of these days. Okay. Uh-oh. Look out. Look out. Here comes our next headline. Sex with children does them no harm. That's right. You heard right. You heard right. Sex with children does them no harm. Okay? The pedophile information exchange. You got that? The pedophile information exchange suggested some policy revisions to the National Council for Civil Liberties. You got that? You follow me? Well, here's some of their suggestions. The PIE, that's the Pedophile Information Exchange. This is what they wrote. Okay, are you ready for this? Childhood sexual experiences willingly engaged in with an adult result in no identifiable damage. That's right. The courts should be prepared to accept the evidence from research on child victims that shows that there is little subsequent effect after a child has been molested. Okay? Oh, it gets better. It gets better. The real need is a change in the attitude which assumes that all cases of pedophilia result in lasting damage. Okay? You got that? This is what the pedophile information, let me look here, the pedophile information exchange. Okay? All right? There is a campaign being waged to make pedophilia acceptable. Oh, yes. Oh, it sounds impossible, but every day, yet another authority makes the case that there's nothing abnormal about it, right? It's all part of the new sexual freedom movement. That's right. Oh, yes. How can you be free if you can't booger your next-door neighbor, right? Or go diving at the Y? Huh? Who's to say you can't have sex with kids or an animal? That's right. It's only sex. I mean, come on. Okay, let me rephrase that. Sexual repression should be a thing of the past. All right? It's only natural, ladies and gentlemen. If someone chooses to have sex with a consenting man or a woman or a kid or an animal, well, that should be their right. You see? And it shouldn't stop there. Oh, no. No. Sexual freedom should be universal. Okay? All right? You follow me? So, how about sex with fruits and vegetables? Okay? A banana, a cucumber. You don't need no batteries, right? Right? Am I right? Have you ever experienced sex with a pleasantly warmed pumpkin? Or I tell you what, how about sex with an inanimate object? What do you think? Huh? Do you know how exciting sex with a Hoover vacuum cleaner can be? Why, if you put your mind to it, there is no limit to the varying ways that one can enjoy sex. Sex with food, for example. Okay? You ever thought about that? Sex with a main entree, like meatloaf or a Philly cheese sandwich. Or how about a nice Polish sausage? Huh? It's sexual freedom, right? Am I right? Where does it end? You might ask yourself, you might say to yourself, where does it end? Well, Vladimir Putin, of all people, just the other day he said, Vladimir Putin said, this is the road to social degradation, people. Oh, yes, that's what he said. Those were his words. But the liberal media and the if it feels good, do it, politicians in the District of Criminals are all pushing this stuff. They're pushing this stuff. Oh, yes. They are promoting it all left and right and left. Have you watched TV lately? And if you don't approve of all this sexual freedom stuff, see, if you don't approve of all this hype, then there's something wrong with you. Okay? There's something wrong with you. You a bigot? Huh? Homophobic? Huh? It's intolerant? Huh? Well, I tell you what, you're bad. You're bad. That's right. Get on in there. Get yourself on. Get yourself on in there. You people are out of your minds. What's the matter with you people? Get. Okay. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. What is it, me, ladies and gentlemen? Let's do our next headline. Let's look at our next headline, see what happens. Alabama teacher suspended for reference to fat butt Michelle Obama. Bob Grisham, a psychology teacher at Lauderville County High School, isn't allowed back in the classroom for the rest of the year, according to the Times Daily. And he's also been ordered to undergo sensitivity training. You're going to be sensitive. Sensitivity training. Oh, man, but his kid... Come on now. Come on now. You're trying to tell me... Get your cell phone in there. Oh, man. Oh, man. Does Michelle Obama have a fat butt? I don't know. Maybe we ought to make that the question of the week. What do you think? You think we should make it the... you're back again, are you? You came back, huh? Man, oh man. Okay. Our next headline. The Obamas wear out their welcome. Beijing hotel workers are fed up with the Obama entourage. Okay. Michelle Obama and 3 of her family members are staying in a $8,350 per night Beijing presidential suite. Her entourage has inconvenienced pretty much everyone and made the hotel staff fed up with the first family. That's right. That's what a hotel staffer told reporters. Oh, man. The sumptuous pad at the Westin Beijing Qiuyang Hotel, its website calls it calls the room an oasis of comfort. 43,000 square foot suite, including a private steam room in there. Corner sofas with silk pillows, in-room dining for 6. I mean, everything, right? But the Obama's stay has already affected the staff and the guests at the hotel. That's right. They're driving everybody crazy over there. They're running around driving everybody crazy over there. At the front desk, the guy hides behind the desk when he sees them coming. That's right. That's right. The guy at the front desk, he alleges that Mrs. Obama's mother, her mother, the First Lady's mother, has been barking at the staff since she arrived. She's been a pain in the ass since she got there. So they're all disgusted with them over there. Can't wait for them to leave. And they're bum tippers, too. They don't tip. They don't tip worth a darn. No. So, all right. I tell you what. Is it me? Is it me, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know. Tell me. Look at them all in there. See there? Look at them making a mess of the place. Look at them all over the place. Oh, man, I'll tell you what. Let's continue on with the headline roundup, okay? All right. Here's our next headline. Obamacare codes. Obamacare medical codes confirm execution by beheading is to be implemented in America. Listen to this one. According to reports, more than 68,000 new medical codes are being added due to the Obamacare monstrosity. All right. The Obamacare is incorporating 68,000 new medical codes. Obamacare is implementing international medical codes to link us to the international system. Now, these codes were actually created by the World Health Organization and the United Nations. See? So here's one of the new, under code ICD-9E978, this is the guidelines for medical execution, okay? Guidelines for legal execution. The following executions are authorized at the behest of judiciary or ruling authority. This would include lethal injection, asphyxiation by gas, electrocution, hanging, there's hanging in there, shooting, or decapitation. Oh, no. That's what I thought. I thought I heard that gate opening up. They got out of there again. Oh, man. That's right. They're all over the place. That's right. Look out. Look out. The sheep will get out and all hell breaks loose. Right? Am I right? Am I right? I wish you'd close the gate. Keep the gate closed, please. Thank you. All right. Okay. Let us move on to our next headline. Okay. Are you ready for this? A man was arrested after drinking iced tea in public. Oh, yes. Oh, man. I'll tell you what. Oh, there he was drinking iced tea. Okay. Christopher Beatty was drinking canned iced tea in a parking lot outside of a liquor store when he was accosted by a plainclothes cop who demanded to inspect his drink. Now, when Beatty refused, the cop told Beatty he was under arrest. So the cop grabs Beatty and put him in a chokehold, and he takes him down on the ground, and he gets right up on there, and he pulls his arms back, and he handcuffs him. Okay? All right. Beatty was then taken to jail. Oh, yes. He was charged with second-degree trespass and resisting a public officer. Now, Beatty must now submit to a year of probation. He's got to do 24 hours of community service, and he has to have a mental health assessment and submit to drug testing and warrantless searches. Oh, man. But what Beatty didn't know was that cop was Alcohol and Beverage Control Law Officer Enforcer Rick Libero. That's right. It was Rick Ribeiro, proud, brave, and ready for action. And when he speaks, it's the law. He's ready to pounce on them civil transgressors. That's right, those evil transgressors of the law, especially those who question lawful authority. Oh, you will submit. You better not be drinking no iced tea, all right? because we will kick your butt from one end of town to the other, okay? All right? So put that in your pipe and smoke it. How do you like that? Huh? 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 Oh, man. Okay. All right. Hey, we're moving right along. We're doing good, aren't we? Huh? Huh? Let's go to our next headline. City threatens to fine a woman for posting missing dog flyers. Oh, yes, you heard right. Oh, and it's a sad, sad story, let me tell you. Okay? When a Connecticut woman discovered that her 2 dogs were missing, her local community rallied to help find the lost puppies. That's right. That's right. The Facebook group. There was a Facebook group, and they came up with 43,000 likes. Oh yes. Oh yes. People donated money to help her offer a reward, so she could even put out a reward. Oh, yes. And volunteers took to the streets of West Hartford to post flyers on telephone and traffic light poles. They put flyers all over the place, right? Not so fast. Not so fast, city officials said. Public Works Director John Phillips, he said, public infrastructure is not the venue to display flyers. People never take them down. That's right. That's what he said. So you know what happened? City officials are threatening to slap the dog's owner, Amanda Denez, with a daily fine. A daily fine, unless the flyers come down. That's right. That's right. She said city officials told her she was facing $79 each and every day. That's right. So them flyers better come down, okay? Oh, man. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Is it me or what? Or do we actually live in the Twilight Zone, huh? 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 Am I right? The number to call in, 314-720-6835. You are listening to the Samsel Report, right here on Revolution Radio. Our next headline: Maine police respond in force to a gun tattoo. Oh, are you ready for this one? Police in Norridgewick, Maine, descended on a man's home armed with assault rifles. That's right. They were storming the house. They were responding to a report from a tree removal company that the homeowner had a gun. Oh, man. Look out. Alas, the gun the tree crew saw, the gun that they saw, was just a life-size tattoo. He had a tattoo, see? Right? Right? A tattoo of a handgun on his stomach. I mean, come on. Wow. Oh, man. When he's not wearing a shirt, the tattoo looks like it's a gun stuck into his waistband. Right? So, Smith works nights. He works at night, right? And he was asleep, and the tree crew was out there with the buzzsaws going, and they were tearing up, cutting down the tree, and woke him up at 10 o'clock in the morning. Woke him up. woke him up from a beautiful dream that he was having about some South Sea island and some beautiful dame in a bikini. Well, but anyway, he woke up and he went outside shirtless. He didn't put his shirt, he didn't have a shirt on. So he walks outside in the yard and he yells at these guys. He says, you take them things, put them things, get out of here. I'm trying to sleep here. Get out of here. Right? Right? So, but an hour later, a fully armed SWAT team surrounded his house and demanded he come out with his hands up. Oh, yes. After searching his house for weapons, he was warned not to expose his tattoo in the future. They searched the house and they told him, do not expose your tattoo in the future. He was not arrested, nor was he charged. So, there you have it. There you go. There you have it. Okay? All right? Okay? Man, oh man, are you having fun out there? Are you having a good time? Are you all having a good time out there? Oh man, thank you. Look at it. Look at it. Everybody's having a good time. Right? Look at them all out there. Boy, oh boy. Okay, let's go to our oh, I tell you what. You're listening to the Samsel Report right here on Revolution Radio. And now, do you know what? You can send me an email. Oh, yes. Just send it to wtsamsel@charter.net. Okay? wtsamsel@charter.net. Okay? And if you specify okay in your message, then I will read some of them on the air. Okay? But only if you specify that that's okay. All right? So you got to put okay in there. Okay? All right? Okay? Now, I got this one here just the other day. It says, "Hey, Wild Bill, what happened to your sidekick?" See? Now, they're referring to my producer, Justin Time, okay, who used to ride with me every week. That's right. So he rode off into the sunset, see? And then to do other things, whatever. And now old Wild Bill produces the show himself. But I tell you what, if you're out there listening, out there in Radio Land, give a call in to the show, Justin, because Wild Bill and the listeners out there would love to hear from you. Find out what you're up to. Okay? So there you go. That's right. Now, one of the other things that I'm going to be doing is setting aside 15 or 20 minutes of the show specifically for your phone calls. Okay? How do you like them apples? Oh, man. All right? So it's specifically for all my partners out there. All my partners out there, and the members of the Freedom Posse. Okay? So if you have a comment or a question or if you know some news or some bit of information, then you can call in and be part of the show. See? You know, you with me? Are you with me now? Okay. All right. Okay.
a little bit of gravy, a little bit of greens. Mix it all together. It isn't what it seems. It isn't what you want. It isn't what you got. It isn't what is missing. It's not what's in the pot. Listen to me, baby. It isn't what is hot. Whatever it may be, I'll tell you exactly what it's not. It's not what you are thinking. It's definitely not. I see you don't know what it is. I hate to put you on the spot. A pocket full of nothing, with just a touch of pride. Season it with sugar. Time is on your side. It's not for you to question. You've no right to complain. Nothing ever changes. Everything is the same. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. A little bit of thievery, a little bit of crime. You mix it all together, you get the elitistic kind. It isn't that they're crazy, it isn't even true. Even though it's broken, there is nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say. Keep going on your way. Cash your check today, and you can pay and pay and pay. It's not for you to question. You no right to complain. Nothing ever changes. Everything is the same. Same, 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 same. Little bit of bullshit. Little bit of hype. A little bit of treason. You know the political type. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is I wanna press the digitate the whole damn thing away. Don't want to discombobulate, there's nothing more to say. It's not for you to question, you've no right to complain. And nothing ever changes, everything is the same. Ain't got a lot of money, ain't got a lot of time. Ain't got a lot of what you got, but what I got is mine. It's not for you to question, you've no right to complain. Nothing ever changes, now everything is the same. Everything is fine, 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 everything is fine. Everything is fine, 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 everything is fine.
Now, what I'm going to do, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I got 3 special guests that we're going to have come on to the show tonight. That's right. We got Roger Landry from the Liberty Beacon. He's going to be here. And Barry Prince from the Illuminati Resistance Army. That's right. He's going to be here. Steve Cromray from Scream the News. He's going to be here. All right. But in the meantime, I tell you what, check this out.
Yes, it's Charlie Danger, private detective. Charlie Danger, defender of the Constitution. And now, Charlie Danger, private detective.
Get this and get it straight. Crime is a sucker's road, and those who travel it today are more cunning, traitorous, and evil than ever. They got big wallets and big ideas and big plans, and they don't like anything or anyone that gets in their way. I ought to know. I'm Charlie Danger. It was a cold, windy day as I sat behind my desk in my cozy little office waiting for a phone to ring that lately hadn't been ringing enough. I sat staring blankly at the wall, listening to the sultry sound of the sax player down the hall practicing for his next weekend's gig. I was trying to decide if I should get up and fix myself yet another drink. Suddenly the door burst open and a beautiful blonde bombshell in a fancy evening dress that fit just right in just the right places strolled into the room. She stood there in her spiked heels looking utterly gorgeous and at the same time a little bit dangerous. I say dangerous because in her pretty little hand was a great big .38 caliber snub-nosed Smith & Wesson and the business end was pointing right at my ticker.
Yes, there are now 4 Charlie Danger adventures to choose from. Go to hiddenmysteries.com. That's hiddenmysteries.com.
That's right. You can go to hiddenmysteries.com. And you can also go to Lulu. That's Lulu, Lulu. Go to Lulu, and you can check them out there, too. And you might want to check out Today's New Atlantis. That's a good one. You ought to check that one out. Okay? All right. Would you do that? At Hidden Mysteries. Okay? Or Lulu.
Free your mind. And your ass will follow.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, and no truer words have ever been spoken. Okay? Oh, man, I tell you what, you're listening to the Samsel Report right here on Revolution Radio. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Okay? All right? Okay. Let me see what else I got here. Hold on a second. Now, let me look and see what I got here in my bag of tricks. What do I got in my bag of tricks here? Oh, hold on a second here. I think we have a phone call.
Ladies and gentlemen, apparently we have another caller on the line. We have Tanisha from Detroit. Tanisha, go ahead with your call.
Michael, is that you?
You are live on the air. Go ahead.
Michael, I know that's you.
This is not Michael. Obviously you have the wrong number, ma'am.
You better bring that car back. You better bring that car back.
Ma'am, you are live on the Samsel Report on the air.
Michael, I know that's you. Don't you take me for no fool.
We'll just have to conclude this
phone call, and we will continue on with the headline roundup. You gotta screen that phone call out of here. I did that already. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. What, do we got a caller? We got a caller on the line. Hello, caller.
Hi, William. This is Stephen from Screen the News.
Oh, hey, there you are. Stephen, welcome to the show.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I'm a fan of your show.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Tell me something. How did you get involved with Screaming the News?
I actually got involved with it through a friend of a friend, through the Facebook page. And, like yourself, I'm somebody who tends to try and find ulterior sources to get my information from.
Right.
I've found that, as most of us, and I'm sure most of your listeners know, we can no longer really rely on the big TV news networks to provide us with any information that is accurate or truthful or, not slanted. I think people in this country are sick and tired of being lied to.
Steve Cromray from Scream the News. Hold up, we're gonna take a little break and we will be right back.
Listen to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Samsel Report. Unique among alternative news radio talk shows. It's not just another talk show. It is an experience. Its main active ingredients are humor, wit, and sarcasm. It is guaranteed to entertain, inform, and stimulate your mind. Join host Wild Bill Samsel every Sunday from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 to 6 p.m. Central, 3 to 5 p.m. Mountain, and 2 to 4 p.m. Pacific times, right here on Awake Radio in the U.S., and from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight GMT in the UK on Awake Radio UK. It's the Samsel Report, because we live in the twilight zone. In the twilight zone. In the twilight zone. In the twilight zone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. You're listening to the Samsel Report, and we are talking to Steve Cromray from Scream the News, and we also have aboard Roger Landry from the Liberty Beacon. All right, and soon we will have Barry Prince. Okay, so hi Roger, how you doing there, pal? Uh-oh.
I muted my mic as you asked me to, and just didn't remember to unmute it, but I'm doing fine.
There you go. Well, thank you for being on the show tonight.
My pleasure, my friend. As I told you, I just got done doing a 90-minute show called A Rant, and I do rant, so my voice has definitely been stretched a bit.
Oh, man.
Yes. All good.
So I was asking Steve how Screen the News came about, and then he can answer that real quick, and then we can ask you the same question: how the Liberty Beacon came about. Okay. So
Sure.
Steve, take it. How did it come about?
Well, Screen the News came about just, I think, through the frustration you're seeing of people in this country not being able to get accurate news.
Right.
It's become painfully obvious that the major sources of news in this country, the major media sources, they have biases, they have slants,
Right.
they are, they have motivations, and from a journalistic standpoint, that's ridiculous. It's you're supposed to be providing factual information to your viewers. And there's people who have relied on these stations for generations to provide them with their news, and they're being lied to.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And that's what the alternative news movement is all about, right?
Exactly. And it's that frustration is motivating more and more groups, more and more individuals to, take a personal responsibility to make sure that they're educating themselves on what is really going on in their world, because what is being said is not what's going to affect you. What's really happening is what's going to affect you.
Right. Exactly. You got it. Roger, how did Liberty Beacon come about?
Toration. I'm dead serious. The thing of it is, all the way up until a little over 2 years ago, maybe about 2.5 years ago, I was the biggest neocon you would ever have run into in your life. Oh, I was.
Oh.
And I actually worked for the DOD. I was a military contractor. I worked for Raytheon on DOD contracts. So I was a part of a system that I actually thought was the best thing since sliced bread.
Wow. Okay.
And then one day a friend came over, and he sat down and he looked at me because I had Fox News running 24/7. And he shook his head and he said, "You haven't got a clue, do you?" So he started taking me to different sites and showing me things that I never would have seen.
Okay.
And my frustration grew and grew, and I became a shut-in for about a month. And I started to research.
Right.
That's where the Liberty Beacon Project was born. We are in 6 countries now, and we're about to expand to about a dozen countries, each one with their own website, all tied together into a Liberty Beacon network that we expect by the end of this year to span at least 60 to 80 countries around this planet. We firmly believe that the United States does not have a patent on either liberty or tyranny. And as our prior speaker so adequately and eloquently put, the mainstream media has failed miserably. I don't like to call us alternative media.
Okay.
Because we're not an alternative. An alternative means if that's not good enough, then maybe we can go to this. We are the new media.
Okay.
We are the source of truth, and it's becoming more and more apparent to a lot of people as time goes along. The Liberty Beacon Project is a big newspaper, and we provide the news not only on a U.S. level, because we do realize there are issues in this country that must be addressed, and you can't give advice to the rest of the world if your house is dirty.
That's right.
So we are a newspaper that covers many topics, from chemtrails, GMOs, political tyranny, perpetual warfare. Just like any good newspaper you open up, it has multiple sections.
Fantastic.
And we provide news.
There you go. That's what it's all about, right?
It has to be,
Okay.
because ignorance is the biggest perpetrator of evil on this planet today, and it's by you and I being ignorant of the facts, we subscribe to what we're being told and we perpetuate the evil. Once you make someone aware that what they believe is wrong and you prove to them the precepts of truth and they wake up, they're no longer willing to support the structure.
Right.
And once you've alleviated the ignorance, then you find a lot more people willing to step on to your side of that line
Right.
and help to change things.
Well, this movement is growing by leaps and bounds, though. This whole thing is growing, and it's accelerating, I think.
Yes. It is. You're right.
Right. So that we're being successful. This is the question. Let me ask you the question, and let me ask everybody the question, and then everybody can give their different viewpoints on this. But here is the question. This is the question. Okay? How long? Right? That's the question. How long before this government brings the boot down on us, so to speak? What's your estimation?
I'd say less than 10 years.
Less than 10 years? That's Steve, right? Less than 10 years?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Hold everything now. Okay, all right. Well, I'm assuming we're back on the air. We've got Roger here, Barry. Let's see here. I was just going to start talking about, how much time do you think we've got? Steve had said 10 years. I don't think so. I really don't.
I don't either.
Well, go ahead.
As a matter of fact, I'm thinking that in order to get accomplished what we need to get accomplished, we need to facilitate change within the next year or two.
Yeah,
I agree.
Definitely.
And what I'm seeing is so much of an intrusion into our personal liberties and so much of an intrusion into our rights bequeathed to us by our founding fathers, and really not so, because most of these are inalienable. They're for every human being on this planet. They're just enunciated and in the Constitution. But we have seen a massive intrusion into our rights by this government. And what really surprises me is that so many people don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. They're preparing for war with the American people.
Absolutely, you couldn't have explained it better.
So what is going to bring this about? What is it going to be, economic? Or is it going to be the result of some, false flag terror thing, or what?
Both.
I think they'll hit us with a triple whammy.
You think so?
I agree
Yeah,
there.
I think that,
what would
I think they've got enough. They've got enough pieces in place right now, Bill, that what they want to do to society is create complete and total bedlam and tyranny and a complete breakdown of our society. And 2 or 3 things they could do in a very, very short period of, like, I'm talking 24 hours, just the collapse of the dollar alone would have an incredible effect on American people.
Right.
Couple that with maybe a simultaneous false flag would create absolute bedlam, and that's what they're working towards. Because when they create that situation, people will follow along with just about anything they have to say. When people haven't got food, water, and a place to stay, and the lights go off,
right.
People will do just about anything you tell them to do, and that's where I see them going.
Exactly. I mean, they have it's total track and trace nowadays. I mean, if you want, if say they want to focus on somebody, then that person would be under surveillance, intense mass surveillance, and be a target all day, 24 hours. I mean, all the time, constantly. They can monitor everything.
Look what they were able to do after 9/11. You know, that's a perfect example of it. Just like Roger and Barry were both saying. You know, these false flag attacks. I mean, they are specifically designed to create fear, to create panic, and
exactly.
in fear and panic, people will. And it's sad, but people will hand over their rights, and you know that's the stuff that you know it's a step-by-step process, and as Roger was saying, you know this isn't something that's being done in secret. I mean, it's being done right out in the open.
Oh, right.
And unless you go out and take the initiative to, find out what is really going on, there's a lot of people who are not even aware of it. And that's a scary, scary situation.
Really,
Yeah,
really, especially in populated areas.
One of the quickest ways to bring this country to its knees, even quicker than crashing the dollar, because the Soviet Union, their monetary system collapsed globally long before it did within the confines of their country. Okay. And they used the same monetary system for years after it collapsed globally. But one of the quickest mechanisms that could be utilized is an EMP pulse.
Yep.
A bomb set off about, 10, 15 miles above the planet, right over North America, to knock out the electrical grid in this country, would bring this country to its knees, because you have the most concentration of population in large cities around this country. If you live in high-rise slums in New York or in Chicago or Los Angeles, and you lose your electricity, now you've lost your water, there's no way to pump that water up to you.
Right.
The store shelves will be stripped within 24 hours. People will be fighting for food. As a matter of fact, if you think your neighbor's got food, you better lock your doors, and you better have a good way to barricade that door, because somebody's going to break that door down to get your food. Within 72 hours, you will see, and it's been estimated, this is not my guess, estimated, that as many as 70 to 100 million people will die within the first 72 hours to the first week of a power outage in this country. And most of them will be in these concentrated population areas.
Right.
Now, you will find that a lot of this ammunition that the government has, you will find military troops ringing these big cities. And it won't be to go in and help them, because there's not much they can do. Right. It'll be to keep them from getting out into the countryside.
Yep.
And you will see a big portion of the elite's problem disappear as we kill ourselves off. Now, this was a study that was done by several think tanks as to the quickest way to eliminate a sizable portion of the American EMP bomb off, and watch us go at each other's throats. Now, the people out in the country like me, I live in the middle of Nowhereville, Montana, on the prairie, we're going to survive this. Mm-hmm. I don't need the electricity. I don't need their gas. I have ways of surviving without these things. But these people in the city, their butts are gone within the first week at the most. A mass majority of them.
It's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly.
If it happens.
It's telling what you said, Roger, too, about the possibility of an EMP. Recently there was that story kind of floating around. I'm sure you and Barry, I'm sure you guys both saw, where they were kind of advertising how there was 9 major, substations in the United States. And if they took those substations out, or if somebody took them out, the chaos it could cause. But then when you see a story like that, you have to wonder, if this is such a vulnerability, why is it being broadcast out over the airwaves?
My friend, they knew.
They knew it, exactly.
They've known this for the last 15 years, and they even appropriated money, funds in Congress to harden. That's what it's called. I'm an electronics engineer. To harden these substations, and it hasn't been done. Why hasn't it been done?
Yep.
If our security in this country so depends on this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they know what they're going to do, it's just lip service, as you're saying. This is all stuff that they're putting together behind the scenes, and as you said, I live about 20 miles outside of St. Louis, kind of in the same area as you, William, and I can tell you just what you were saying, Roger. Downtown St. Louis, especially some of the poor areas around St. Louis,
It's going to be bad.
It's going to be a bloodbath. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. And
there will be gangs roving the streets, and if you have anything valuable to them, food, gas, whatever, they don't have water, because you need electricity to pump water, my friends.
Well, this is when the troops are going to hit the streets.
They're not going to be there to protect those people. They're going to be there to keep those people from getting out into the countryside. They're going to ring these towns and form barricades. You will not escape from these cities.
Well, they're still going to be doing a lot of rounding up of people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
You've got over 600 internment camps. They didn't build them just because they look pretty.
Right.
It's not Camp FEMA.
Exactly. You don't have organizations like Homeland Security and DHS and and all that jazz.
Exactly.
You don't have those guys buying billions of bullets for no reason.
But
hollow points.
40% of those bullets they purchased are hollow tip rounds, which are even illegal to be used in warfare via the Geneva Convention. They are going to use bullets that are illegal to be used anywhere in the world against American citizens. Hollow points. The only reason you shoot a hollow point is to kill somebody.
Right.
It's to kill. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, and your tax dollars are paying for all of this, guys.
Yes, I know. It's
and when they come up with this absolute bullcrap, when they were asked, why are you purchasing so much ammunition, it's,
target practice.
Well, we're stockpiling for target practice. Why the hell do you need 40 caliber hollow point rounds for target practice? They're very expensive.
Right.
If you need that many bullets for target practice, then these guys must be the worst shots on the planet.
Did you know those
2,500 pounds per person?
They have purchased more ammunition. They have purchased more ammunition than we have used in 10 years of active warfare in both Afghanistan and Iraq combined.
Right.
They purchased more rounds than we've used in both of those wars combined in the last 10 years.
Well, as long as we have an armed population, though.
Yes, sir.
They're outnumbered as long as we have an armed population.
Between 250 and 300 million weapons in private hands. That's an estimate.
Right.
We are the most armed population on the planet.
Right.
Which is exactly why you're seeing this anti-gun push. This is exactly why you're seeing these incidents take place that are, the reason they need to come to your house and take your gun, when the fact of the matter is they're trying to portray this, they're trying to put this bad stigma on anybody who's basically just exercising their Second Amendment rights.
Exactly.
When in fact the only people committing crimes are people who are out there illegally, purchasing guns, and you know what I mean? Like you're not seeing legal, NRA members out robbing gas stations. I mean, it's just.
We do have allies. We do have allies. You go to the state of Connecticut where they're performing this tyranny right now, and a lot of sheriffs have stepped up and said, we will not enforce the gun grabbing. We will not violate the Second Amendment rights of the citizens of the state of Connecticut. These are sheriffs, constitutional sheriffs.
Right.
So we do have allies stepping up and saying to the governor of Connecticut, we're not going to enforce your laws.
Well, and that's really what it's going to come down to. I mean, this is all, kind of what our whole topic started about tonight. This is why you're seeing groups. This is why you're seeing, what you guys are doing, as far as the newspaper. This is why you're seeing more of this popping up, because, there's a lot of people in this country who, are asleep still, but there's also a lot of people who see this. I mean, it's not hard to see what's coming. And, you know, like as far as Scream the News goes, we're trying to grow this to what you have going on, Roger. I mean, it's groups like yours that we aspire to be like.
We need to talk to you, my friend, because we need allies. We don't want to absorb anybody. We want to take partners on. We want to grow, and we want to be growing in every direction. You're not going to cover the same territory we are. You're not going to have the exact same ideas we do. My friend, you and I need to talk, and Barry understands this because he knows how I think. When I founded this project, it was about building coalitions. So let's have a discussion sometime in the near. We would be happy to do anything we could to help.
Well, it's all about unity. You know, that's one thing we really try to push on our page, is that regardless of the walk of life you come from, regardless of what your beliefs are, the bottom line is that the people of this country need to be unified. You know, a lot of what you see as far as the propaganda and things of that nature that are out there, it's designed to divide people. I mean, plain and simple. That's what they're trying to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're always trying to divide everybody. And like you said, unified, the people of this country can stand.
One voice may speak. This is our motto. One voice may speak, but many unified voices can roar. Damn it, it's time for we the people to frickin' roar. And I'd like to hear something from Barry, because Barry's in Canada, and they're not immune to a lot of this crap. They've already had their guns taken away.
Right. Oh, we're seeing the same BS up here, guys. This is not the United States. This is not Canada. This is like a worldwide problem. We're seeing the same thing happen all over the planet in different ways. All the same agenda. Right. And all I can say is, like, about the Liberty Beacon Project. Who's the other gentleman that joined us? I didn't even get your name there, buddy.
Oh, my name's Steve, man. Sorry, I'm from Scream the News. Yeah, I got bumped for a few minutes there, but I made my way back on.
So did I.
I'm persistent.
Yeah. Like what I was saying, Steve, the whole idea of the Beacon Project is to unify guys, groups like you and groups all over the world, and have us unified under one platform, where we can create a voice so loud that it will roar. And when he first laid down that concept to me, I said, boy, you know, this is really an idea whose time has come. And the more I've gotten involved with it, I see what's going on, and all I can say is, boy, we really need to put the pedal to the metal.
Oh, yeah.
Period.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing with you, Bill.
Right. I was totally impressed with the Liberty Beacon. I had no idea it was so huge and growing. So
it is.
Oh, wow, William. Just since I've gotten involved with Roger. Man, when I got involved, Roger, how many websites did you have? 2?
We had 2 websites and 1
I think you had
podcast
2
show.
running at the time.
Now we've got 18 websites and 6 podcast shows, and I just had a discussion with Germany and Netherlands yesterday, and they're jumping on board for 2 new websites. Also New Zealand, also Argentina, also Scotland, also Ireland. They're all coming on board. And the thing of it is, Bill, I had a conversation with you for 15 minutes, and what did you say to me? What can I do to be a part of this?
Right.
And it's not a matter of us taking over your sovereignty, because what we do is we would destroy your uniqueness. We don't want control of your mechanism. Mm-hmm. We want your mechanism. We want to assist your mechanism. We want to hand you a megaphone so you can talk louder.
There you go. See?
Exactly.
Right.
There's no egos here. This is not about us or any individual. This is about unifying voices. And boy, the concept, guys, if you really start to think about it, it just grabbed me. It grabbed me.
Is growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, I've never seen so many different groups. I was going through them, and I'm going, wow, you know, we are making a difference here.
Oh, and it's just accelerating. It's like a snowball going down the hill, man.
Right.
Roger can tell you. I mean, Roger could sit there and tell you how many people he gets approaching him every day now. And we're all reaching out in different directions. We all know people on the internet. You know, you brought incredible people in, Bill, and other people have brought other people in. It's just like we're seeing an urgency right now amongst people around this planet like I've never seen before. It is we're pushing very hard, and we're pushing back, Roger.
I want to talk to Steve. Steve, we've got to have a conversation soon, my friend.
Absolutely. Yes, I would be on board with that 1,000%, because it's about strength in numbers. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Is, you know, it's real easy to push one guy around, you know, but when he's got, you know, his family, his brothers and sisters from all over the world standing with him shoulder to shoulder, that's what's going to change things. That's the only thing these guys are going to understand. You know, they're not going to understand. I mean, the people have to realize that when they're writing the rules of the game, the rules are designed to always benefit them. And there's going to come a point when the people have to stand up and stop playing by those rules and start playing by rules that are right and that are just and that are noble. And that's what's happening. You know, that's what you're seeing with all these groups.
Right. Right. I mean, and it's coming to a head, too. This is something that's going to come down in the near future. Now,
but
we have
it doesn't have to.
Are we reaching enough people?
It doesn't have to.
You don't think so?
I do not think so. I honestly,
enough people.
Yes, I honestly believe that once a critical mass is reached, whereby we can no longer be ignored or dismissed,
right,
they will have no choice but to modify their plan. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to get rid of it. They'll modify it. Right. And then we continue to grow. What we need to do, it's like this. What we're up against right now is a big, impenetrable wall. But any wall, if you take a few bricks from the foundation and you continue to do that, take a brick out of the foundation here, take a brick out of, eventually that wall will collapse and fall. We're pulling more bricks out of the foundation of their wall on a daily basis. It's going to collapse. And I do think that we have a good chance, if we reach that critical mass, of collapsing the wall of tyranny that's keeping us from our rights and our freedoms.
There is hope, ladies and gentlemen.
I just wrote an article called "There is a Light Shining Bright at the End of This Tunnel."
There you go.
And I believe that. I wouldn't be doing this so fervently if I didn't believe that we have a mechanism to stop the tyranny.
Right.
I would be finding a hole to crawl in and a cover to pull over.
People are coming over to the for lack of a better term, the alternative news. But they come
the new news.
The new news. Right, the new news on the internet here in droves from the mainstream media. They're not believing what they're getting on CNN and MSNBC and CBS and NBC and ABC and all of those people. They're turning away from them in droves. So,
well, I think it's hard for people to take these. It's hard for people to take these networks seriously when there's all the problems that there is in the world, and they're doing 18 hours a day coverage on a missing airplane.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And we are doing the job that they're supposed to be doing.
Yep.
See?
If you take a look at the Time magazine covers, it is the perfect barometer. For instance, okay, a couple of years ago, there were major issues in Palestine, okay? And all across the world, Time magazine had the death toll for Palestine, Israel and the United States backing the wrong horse, so on and so forth. This was, and in the United States, the cover of Time magazine, I believe, was something like, "Are we hooked on what is it? Pharmaceutical drugs?"
Oh.
So it was like we were given a totally different front of what really was meant something on the global scene in this country as compared to everywhere else. Right. Everybody needs to understand there are hundreds, maybe thousands of radio and TV stations in this country. They are owned by 4 corporations. 4. And those 4 corporations form a conglomerate where they all work together and share the same board members. So they're all basically one company, one group of men that controls all of the media in this country. It used to be when you and I were children, that was called a monopoly, and the government, like AT&T, came in and broke it up.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
Now they're bought and paid for, so they won't go near it.
Oh, yeah.
They encourage it.
Oh, yeah.
Support it.
When I was a kid, I used to watch the, Walter Cronkite.
Yep.
And he sat there and he read off the news. This happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, that happened, this happened, right? Nowadays, they got the talking heads. These people to come on there and convince you that you should perceive things in the way that they do. They intend for you to do.
Agreed. In 1981, William Casey, who was the director of the CIA, made a quote that has been infamous since that date. The quote was, "We will know our disinformation program has succeeded when everything the American public believes is a lie." Google that. I'm almost word for word his quote. So what you and I believe is the truth because we do our research and we check multiple sources both in and out of this country daily. What a mass majority of, and I hate this word, but it's so applicable, what a mass majority of the sheeple believe is the disinformation that has succeeded so well. And this is predicated by William Casey himself, director of the CIA.
Man, I tell you, man, what concerns you most? And it's one for everybody. 30 seconds, a minute. What concerns you most, Roger?
What concerns? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Steve.
Steve.
I was just going to say, what concerns me most is the staggering amount of people who will so feverishly defend the system that they are ingrained into. It's almost troubling,
right.
because even as you grow these groups, you wind up talking to a lot of like-minded people. I'm sure Roger, Barry, I'm sure you've seen the same thing. You attract a lot of like-minded people who share, the opinions that we've basically been sharing here tonight. But at the same time, you also come across a lot of people, and you talk to them, and it's just staggering. It's staggering that they could sit there and look at what's going on and actually think that their government, cares about them or is trying to protect them or is trying to help them. Right. It's slowly changing. I mean, you are seeing it change little by little, and groups like the Liberty Beacon, groups like our group, Screen the News, are slowly, spreading that out so that people are starting to wake up a little bit. But it's kind of like Roger said much earlier in this conversation, where you said you used to work for the DOD, and after you found some stuff out, you were kind of a shut-in for a month or so. I was a shut-in for probably about 10 years. Okay, I was like that for about 10 years in shock. I mean, to the point where I was a hermit. And fortunately, seeing these other people waking up, seeing individuals like yourself and like Barry and then like Bill here tonight, and seeing that has reinvigorated me over the last 10 to 15 years of my life, because there was a time where I felt very alone sitting in my room, wondering, am I crazy or is everybody else just crazy? I mean, but that's the biggest concern for me, is that just that the pace of people awakening themselves continues to move at a rate that's going to get enough of us ready to go by the time everything hits the fan.
There you go. All right, who's next?
Barry.
Barry, go ahead.
Roger.
No, go ahead, Barry.
Well, Steve took everything out of my mouth that I was going to say, man. I agree with you 100%, Steve, that I don't really think that we have even 5 years, that's my feeling, guys, to address these problems. The mainstream media, how they quash information, is a travesty in our society. My biggest concern right now, I have many concerns, but my biggest concern right now is what's going on in the Pacific Ocean and Fukushima, and the fact that is not being exposed to the public the way it should be. It's an absolute travesty what's going on out there right now, guys. The reports are coming to me every day, and it just shocks me right to the core that we are virtually killing the Pacific Ocean right now, and if we don't act on it, it is going to be dead in 2 or 3 years. And boy, oh boy, that's just one thing that we're looking at, guys. That's something that concerns me a lot.
Right. We're poisoning the entire northern hemisphere.
Oh, the whole ecosystem.
Right.
Food chain.
The whole ball of wax.
Yeah, and it's just going to get worse and worse. And the reports are now starting to come out in droves, and people are really going to start waking up to it. But whether it's enough time to solve the problem, we are in a lot of trouble due to that reactor. You know, guys, that's just one reactor on this planet, man. How many are actually active and running right now and could create the same problem given the right scenario? Scares me to death.
Exactly.
Should be the wake-up call for the human race to eliminate nuclear power off this planet. I hope our next generation does that.
There you go. Roger, what concerns you the most?
As much as I push back against political tyranny, as much as I push back against perpetual warfare, this is not what we need to be the most worried about right now by a long shot.
Okay.
What we have are what I call 4 weapons of mass destruction humanity may not survive. Perpetual warfare is one of them. And I'm going to put on your tinfoil hats because everything I say I can prove or I wouldn't say it. Okay? The other 3 are, okay, geoengineering / chemtrails, vaccines, and GMOs. I will tell you that there is, and I've done all of this research, I write articles and research all of these topics. There are 1,100 scientists around the world that are screaming at the top of their lungs. They've signed petitions. They've signed grievances, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
Experts, scientists, stating that GMOs are destroying the biosphere. We might be past the point of no return, and they are changing the human genome, and they're sterilizing us. Vaccines are definitely sterilizing us. Bill Gates has admitted that himself.
Right.
And geoengineering is putting tons of aluminum nanoparticles into our atmosphere on a daily basis. Aluminum, once it comes into the human body in nano-sized particles, passes right through the lungs into the bloodstream, but it can't get into the brain because we have what's called a blood-brain barrier. So what do? Guess what allows the aluminum, which kills brain cells, to pass from your bloodstream into your brain? This is going to shock the hell out of you.
Fluoride.
Fluoride.
Oh, man.
Fluoride facilitates the movement of the aluminum you breathe and the aluminum from your vaccines into your brain. Let's talk about the dumbing down of America.
Oh.
The intentional dumbing down of America. Knocking our IQs down intentionally.
Right.
We need to be much more aware of the health tyranny because when you've got chemtrails, when you've got GMOs, when you've got vaccines, when you've got big pharma, there's over 100 million Americans, over 30% of our population on mind-altering drugs right now.
Sure.
When you have all 4 of these being perpetrated simultaneously and all legally and all supported by our government, somebody tell me where coincidence leaves off and it's a fact jumps in.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Sorry, I just got off a 90-minute rant. I couldn't help myself.
Hey, that's a quality rant right there, 90 minutes.
Well, we're starting to run out of time here. We got a few minutes left here. We'll start with Steve. Give out your website and contact information and so forth.
Okay. You can find us on Facebook at Scream the News. We have an open group. We also have a community page. We're hoping that in the next month or 2, we're going to try to get a bi-weekly or a weekly radio show up and running. You can contact Rick Wilson on Facebook. He's the creator of Scream the News. My name is Steve. My last name is K-R-O-M as in Mary, R-A-Y. You can also find me as an administrator on the group, but also on Facebook if you want to contact me. And, I'm glad to have had the chance to talk with Roger and Barry tonight. And Roger, I'm going to definitely be getting a hold of the Liberty Beacon because you guys really, what you're doing, I'm telling you, it's not only is it great as far as the information you're spreading, but it's great because it inspires groups like ours that are just starting to get our feet under us. Right. There's other people out there doing the same thing, and it's exciting. It's exciting to see people starting to wake up, and I've just really enjoyed talking with you guys tonight.
Far out. There you go. You got it. You got it. Barry, contact.
Well, like I said, I do a show on Thursday night on Awake Radio called The Big Puzzle, and I've been lucky to have some very, very good guests in the last couple of weeks, and this week I'm joined by some doctors, and we are going to be talking about cannabinoids. So again, I'd like to urge people to listen to that. The medical information that's going to be passed out on this show, I urge everybody to listen to, because it can really change how you deal with health issues in your life.
There you go.
That's what my focus is a lot on right now, Bill. I go down the rabbit holes a lot, but I find with the hemp movement and the medical movement is something I can put my hands on right now and really have an impact on people, a real hands-on experience. I've seen it affect people in my life, Bill, in ways that I cannot begin to explain. So I'll just urge people to have a good look at what's going on with that right now. I'll end with that. Bill, thanks for having me on tonight. It's been a pleasure.
All right. God bless you, Barry. I tell you what. Roger, how did we get a hold of the Liberty Beacon?
First off, let me start by saying that if it wasn't for individuals, Barry's a part of the project. He's one of our main directors for media, so I'm going to exclude him in this. But between you and Steve, the Liberty Beacon Project is nothing without individuals and projects like you have.
Right.
We are a conglomerate. We are a unification of voices. So it doesn't matter how big the Liberty Beacon Project is. The Liberty Beacon Project is a conglomerate of groups and organizations such as you have.
Okay.
So don't ever talk down your worth, because without individuals and individual groups like you, we're nothing.
All right.
And how do you get a hold of the Liberty Beacon Project? www.thelibertybeacon.com.
All right.
Send us a message, or www.thefallingdarkness.com.
So there you go. We are out of time. It's the end of the program. So Steve, Barry, Roger, thanks for all you guys for being here. Tune in next week, same time, same station, for the Samsel Report. Okay? Will you do that? All right?
Hide away and fly away. Spend your precious time away. Close your weary eyes. Everything has changed. Nothing's quite the same. Lightning, thunder, rain falls on us all. Everything will be alright. Tuck your children in at night. You believe in lies. Everything has changed. No, nothing's quite the same. No. Lightning, thunder, rain falls on us all. Go on going on your way. Make believe it's all okay. One day you will find everything has changed. You know nothing's quite the same. No. Lightning, thunder,
Free your mind, and your ass will follow. You have been listening to the Samsel Report, Wild Bill's Headline Roundup, right here on Revolution Radio, Awake Radio US, and Awake Radio UK, and on Liberty Beacon Radio. Tune in again next week for the Samsel Report. Excuse me.
You are the target. You've been retarded. You've degraded. You've been castrated. How do you like it?
The Twilight Zone. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Look out, look out, look out, look out, look out for Big Sister. The Fusion Center and the TSA. They put you in the database. No, 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 database. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, don't want the database. Look out, look out, look out, look out, look out. Don't want the database. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, no, the database.
You are the target. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, you've been retarded.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Don't want the database.
Oh no, oh no,
oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, don't want the database.
oh no, oh no,
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, don't want the database. Don't want the database.
Twilight Zone.
just like wine, baby. Ooh, my baby, ooh, my baby, ooh, my baby, my baby. Baby, 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 I love you, yes I do. Always true, I'll always be true to you, just to you.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Samsel Report. Unique among alternative news radio talk shows. It's not just another talk show. It is an experience. Its main active ingredients are humor, wit, and sarcasm. It is guaranteed to entertain, inform, and stimulate your mind. Join host Wild Bill Samsel every Sunday from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 to 6 p.m. Central, 3 to 5 p.m. Mountain, and 2 to 4 p.m. Pacific times, right here on Awake Radio in the U.S., and from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight GMT in the UK on Awake Radio UK. It's the Samsel Report, because we live in the twilight zone. In the twilight zone. In the twilight zone. In the twilight zone.